Welcome back to another episode of Simply Talented Films. And today we're going to go over our power rankings for week 4. We're going to get into our week 5 picks. And we're going to do a little bonus content with our questions from Coach. I dropped a post on the community page for some questions. I think I got 3 over there. I also, about an hour or so ago, dropped that same post on my Twitter page. I got one trolling question over there. But what I'm also going to do, hold on, let me take that off, because that was yesterday. Let me take that timer off for lunch break hot take. All right. What I'm also going to do is, when I'm close to the end of the power rankings and the picks, I'm going to let you guys put questions in the chat. And I'll answer them for a little while also. But once we get to that part, we'll do, like, you can put a Q in front of it, like a capital Q. And then you put your question by it. That way I know that it's a question for me. But don't start it now, because it'll be done disappeared by the time I get ready to answer it. So we're gonna start off with the power rankings. Then we're gonna get into my picks. What up, Cam? So once we get to the picks, that's when you can start putting the Q and your question in the chat box, and that way I can, start seeing them. But if we do them too early, they'll disappear from my list, and I won't be able to see them. So once we get about halfway done with the picks, the week 5 picks, that's when you can start putting your questions in there, and then I'll pull from my questions that I already have, answer them, then I'll start pulling from the chat box. And that'll probably put us right around the time frame that I have allotted for this stream. So without further ado, I appreciate you guys for coming through. Again, shout out to Malik for jumping in early. Killer Cam, as you come in, go ahead and smash that like button. And I appreciate y'all. And let's go ahead and get started with today's stream. All right, make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. I don't know if we want it that big, but here it is. All right, we'll start with 32. Now, let me get something up here I want on my side so you guys can't see this. I just need a reference on my side. All right, starting with the Jaguars. Now, you can see last week's, which is week 3, and this week, which is week 4. The Jaguars, no movement from them. The Giants actually lost 2 spots. The Patriots lost 2 spots. The Cardinals lost 2 spots. The Cardinals lost 3 spots, I'm sorry. The Dolphins lost 5. The Panthers lost 6. And those are our bottom tier NFL teams right now. I really think the Jaguars, even though on paper they're not the worst team in the NFL, but they're playing like the worst team in the NFL. I don't really know how they can rectify it. I don't know if the problem is Trevor Lawrence, if the problem is the rest of the offense, if the problem is the defense. But they are really not getting the job done right now, with the Giants not far behind them. But the one bright spot for the Giants is Malik Neighbors. If I'm not mistaken, Malik Neighbors is leading the league in catches. Let me check that real quick. Game by game? Nope. I don't want that. I want another page. I think Malik Neighbors is leading the league in catches. I'll give you an honest answer real quick. Stats. Receiving. Malik Neighbors is second in receiving and first in catches. He's the bright spot for the Giants. With that being said, let's kind of move on to our next tier. All right, we got the Browns. They lost 7 spots. The Rams lost 7 spots. The Titans moved up 7. Titans got that victory last week over the Dolphins, the lowly Dolphins at that, but they moved up 7 spots. The Bengals went up 7 spots. They got off the snide, got their first victory. And I got a little caveat to throw in at the end with these rankings too, so just bear with me. Now, as you know, the Red are the biggest losers of the week. Normally, we only have 2 biggest losers of the week. We got more than 2 this week because there are a number of teams that got a -10. The Jets are -10 because they lost to the Broncos. The Packers are -10 as well. The Packers are -10 as well. Packers lost to the Vikings. Now, again, the caveat that I give you at the end is going to start affecting some teams here in the future. But let me just get through it, because you might say, like, why are the Packers way down here? They lost to one of the better teams in the NFL. Just give me a minute. The Saints are also a -10. Trying to see what the Saints lost to the Falcons. And then the Chargers are -10 as well. And the Chargers lost to the Chiefs. Again, Chargers lost to one of the better teams as well, just like the Packers. But after this week, there's a caveat that goes into my factors. So you'll see that once we get to the end. Now, the green is the biggest movers. And as you can see, the first green up there that you can see is the Bears. The Bears put out a victory over the Rams. And we know the Rams are missing two of their most deadly weapons, Cooper Kupp and I had a text message. That's all. I thought it was important. I'm sorry. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. All right, you see the Eagles moved up. Now the Eagles should not be green. I'm sorry. The Eagles should be red. The Eagles should not be green. The Eagles moved down because they lost. I apologize for that. That's a mistake on my part. Let me rectify this real quick. The Eagles should not be there. I apologize. Let me just make sure I'm right. Yeah, the Eagles lost to the Bucks. The Eagles should not have been green. But the Falcons and the Broncos are green. They won their games this week. You got the Raiders coming in at 14. The Cowboys coming in at 7. The Colts coming in at 5. The 49ers at 11. And now we get to the top 10. The Ravens have made their way back to the top 10. Well, the victory over the Buffalo Bills was a very convincing victory over the Bills. Now, a bunch of national people will probably throw the Ravens way up in there, like 3, 4, 5. Not just yet. Your record still means something to me at this point. Your record still means something to me at this point. To me, it does. And we're 2-2 at the time. So even though I think we're better than some of the teams that are ahead of us, that record still means something to me in this power rankings. Now, there's going to be a caveat that kind of equals it out when I get to the end that I talk about here in a minute, and you'll kind of see where my head is at going forward. But at number 9, we have the Steelers, and the Steelers, they lost their game, but they were so high up because they was undefeated. I still have them at number 9. Number 8, the Seahawks. Again, the Seahawks lost their game, but they were undefeated. So they're sitting at 3-1. They lost to the Lions. The Lions are a pretty good team as well. The Bills, number 7. I know we beat the Bills. I understand that. But the Bills were sitting at undefeated as well. They're 3-1. And trust me, it's going to all work itself out. But to go from undefeated to 3-1, and we're 2-2, again, the record means something to me. The head-to-head will start to play in a little bit. But early in the season, the record means a lot to me at the time. All right, number 6, the Buccaneers. Buccaneers sitting at 3-1. They beat the Eagles, which I think was a good matchup. And the Bucs look like they might want to do something this year. But there's a lot of season left to go. Number 5, the Commanders. To me, this team is the shock of the NFL season so far. The Washington Commanders sit at 3-1. Jaden Daniels has been absolutely amazing. Complete and utterly amazing this year. He's a lot better than I thought he would be. And he's leading that team to a 3-1 record so far. And so the NFC East, the Cowboys, the Eagles, Giants, watch out. Watch out. Texans come in at number 4. They moved up 3 spots. Who did the Texans beat? The Texans beat, if I'm not mistaken, the Jaguars. Yeah, the Texans beat the Jaguars. Then the Lions won their game last week, which was a pretty good Monday night tilt versus the Seahawks. It was 2 undefeated teams. No, what 2 undefeated teams? It was 3-1 versus 3-0. It was 2-1 versus 3-0, and both of them 3-1 now. And then number 2, the Vikings. They're 4-0. How Sam Darnold is doing it, I don't know. But again, let me go back to preseason. Go back to preseason over here. Got the Vikings at number 6. Preseason, I had the Vikings at number 6. People thought I was crazy because I had them right with the Ravens or right tied with the Ravens. They thought I was crazy. Now we go back to week 4. The Vikings are number 2. Sam Darnold is making it work. And again, even though the Chiefs don't look the greatest, they still undefeated. And it's still, until somebody beat them, I'm going to leave them here every week. So until somebody beat them, I'm going to have them here every week. So it is what it is. All right, so that's the power rankings for this week. Let's get to the picks. Let me change my scene. Let's get to the picks. What up, Storm and Norman? Appreciate you for popping in. Let's get to my old picks from last week. Some were good, some were bad. All right, there we go. Got them up. Is this week 4? Yeah, it's week 4. All right, and put my scores back up here. Let me see how many I got right, because I did not write that down. How many I got wrong, how many I got right. Give me a little piece of paper. All right, let's go through it. I got my picks on the screen. Let me get the scene back. Let me move this. Let me make it a little bigger for us. See if I can get it over. Will I be able to move it over? No, I can't move it over. I can't move it over. Can I or can I? I can't. Or can I? There I go. I might. There it is. There it is. More than one way to skin a cat. Now, I don't know how big it is, but it's more than one way to skin a cat. And I just call it out that way if you can't see it that way. All right, so first game of the week, I had the Cowboys and the Giants. I got that one correct, so that's one for the good guys. Second game, New Orleans versus Atlanta. I picked New Orleans. Atlanta won that. That's an L for me. Third game, the Rams and Chicago. The Bears won that. That's another L. Green Bay versus Minnesota. Minnesota won that. That's another L for me. I thought Jordan Love would come back and do, and Jordan Love did do good. He just got himself in a huge hole first and couldn't come back. So I think Green Bay is on the up and up. Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. I finally picked Pittsburgh after 3 weeks of picking against them, and then they lose. So far I'm 1-4. Denver and the Jets. I think I got that one wrong too. Darn rookie quarterbacks. I'm looking for it on here. Yeah, the Broncos. So I'm 1-5. Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. Got that one wrong. 1-6. Cincinnati and Carolina. Got that one right. 2-6. Houston and Jacksonville. Got that one right. 3-6. Washington and Arizona. Got that one right. 4-6. San Francisco and New England. 5-6. Vegas and Cleveland. I think I got that one right. Where is that one? Vegas won that one, if I'm not mistaken. Vegas won that one. So I'm at 500. 6-6. Kansas City and Chargers. Got that one right. 7-6. Baltimore and Buffalo. 8-6. Tennessee beat Miami, so I'm 8-7. Then Detroit beat Seattle. There we go. So I went 9-6 for the week. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see where we at. Let's see where we at for the year. No, we don't want this one. We done with this. Here we go. Let me blow us up so everybody can see where I'm at. So y'all don't think I'm cheating you. All right, week 1. I was 10-5 because I didn't pick the Ravens game. I was scared to pick the Ravens and Chiefs. That's why I got that odd number. Week 2, 6-10. Last week, 8-8. This week, I'm 9-7. Which the total is 33-30. So I'm 3 games over 500 for the year. That's where we at. So now, at this point, if you have questions that you want me to answer when I get through my picks, you can put a Q beside it in the chat box and then put your question beside the Q. Then I'll answer them once I finish with my week 5 picks, and I'll pull the questions from Twitter and the community tab. That's what we can do now. So now I'm going to put my picks up for this week. And you can guys, as I go through it, you can put your picks in the chat box as well. All right. Starting with, here we go. Week 5. The Thursday night game, which is going to be here shortly. I got Atlanta versus Tampa Bay, and I got Atlanta. Atlanta, Tampa Bay, I got Atlanta. It's at Atlanta. Second game. The Jets at Minnesota. Matter of fact, let me print this so I won't have to worry about it later on. Let me print this. There we go. All right. I got Minnesota over the Jets. Game 3, Carolina, Chicago. I got Carolina winning that. Game 4, Baltimore, Cincinnati. I'm taking Baltimore. Game 5, Miami, New England. I'm taking Miami. I think Snoop gets his first win. I think Snoop gonna get his first win. Next game, Cleveland at Washington. I shouldn't pick against Jay Daniels, but I am. I for some strange reason, I'm thinking Cleveland get their stuff together and get that victory. This Washington thing seems a little bit too good to be true. And so, as much as I like Jaden Daniels, I ain't completely sold on it yet. Next game, the Colts versus Jacksonville. Like I said earlier, Jacksonville, I think, is the worst team in the league right now. They're last in the power rankings. I'm going with the Colts. Buffalo at Houston. This is going to be a good game. As much as I want to discredit Buffalo for what we did to them, Buffalo's a really good team. A really good team. So I'm picking Buffalo right here. Vegas and Denver. I'm picking Denver. Vegas just got too much drama going on. Devontae Adams stuff. Coach liking tweets and Instagram posts and all that stuff. They're just too much. Too much to focus on winning football games. And I say that now, come out and beat the hell out of Denver. I know that. But I'm picking Denver. Next up, San Francisco and Arizona. San Francisco, they 2-2, but man, their run game look good. Their run game look good. And the perfect segue to that is, I'm going to have a video out on the second channel, More Sip the Talent, about their run game and how it's still being as effective as it is without Christian McCaffrey. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that video on More Sip the Talent, which is for the streets, about how San Francisco's run game is still effective without CMC. All right. Next up, Green Bay and the Rams. I mentioned a minute ago, I think Jordan Love gets his stuff together and they go out there and do what they need to do versus the Rams, because the Rams missing two big weapons, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Seattle and the Giants. I think the Giants are one of the lowly teams, and y'all know how I feel about Mike McDonald. He gets another victory. Dallas at Pittsburgh, the Sunday night game, which I think is going to be a really good game. I think Dallas pulls this out. Even though it's at Pittsburgh, I think Dallas pulls this out because I just don't believe in Pittsburgh's offense just yet. I don't believe in that offense just yet. And then in the Monday night game, which I think is going to be a lot closer than people think, I still think Kansas City is going to pull it out simply because they at home and it's tough to beat them at home, especially when the referees wear white and red stripes. So that's where we at. When the referees wear white and red stripes, it's tough to beat them guys. All right. So let me go pull these right quick. Let me pull these few questions and then we're going to get up out of here. I got a few. All right. Let me go get this down. Go to my community tab real quick. And again, if you got some, just drop the Q in front of it, because I ain't going to be long. Hopefully my Mets can get over victory today and move on, because they blew yesterday. I mean, certified blew it. Had opportunity to sweep the Brewers and blew it. Certified blew it. All right, so we got 3 questions over here. Let me check them out. Let's see what we got. So the first question came from Rave Kingdom. He says, could you see Ben Cleveland ever getting a starting spot? At this point, no. At this point, I don't. I don't see Ben Cleveland getting a starting spot. The fact that we've started winning with Falele in there, and then as good as Makari played at left guard, I think if something was to happen and Rosengartner could not play, if something was to happen and like Makari's just gonna be the guy we move around. That's why I think it is. I think Makari's gonna be the guy that get moved around. So if we had to sub somewhere, they put Voorhees back in, and if they had to take Falele out, they just put Makari at right guard, and then we have Rosengartner. Like Cam said, the only way Ben Cleveland can get in is if multiple O linemen got injured. Like it would have to be 2 O linemen to get injured for Ben Cleveland to play. That's the only way I think he would get in. So I really think it's over for Ben Cleveland. Like I think somebody just said that it's a wrap for him. If you got a question, put a Q in front of it, and then just write the question behind it. It'll look like this. This is I'm gonna do Rave Kingdom's question for example. Do it like this in the chat box. Do it like that. That's how it should look. I'll give Rave Kingdom's question as an example. That's how it should look. Put a Q in front of it and go from there. All right, the second question on the community tab is from Crystal Springs 2199. It says, should we try for Adams? I think we should always kick the tires when there are good players out there. I know that his cap hit on the back end is extremely huge, and I know we're next to broke with cap money, but they always say the cap is cap. Now, I don't claim to be a connoisseur of the cap numbers. That's one of my faults when it comes to the NFL. I'm not cap savvy, but I know when people want players, they make it happen. Look at the Saints. When teams want players, they make it happen. So like the Saints always do. So could we use him? Yes, we can always use a top tier receiver because Devontae is still one of the best route runners in the game. Does that mean he's one of the best receivers in the game? No. But he is one of the best route runners, and he would be our number one from the time his plane land in the DMV area. He'd be our number one receiver. But she ended it with, do we really need him? Or he ended them, whichever he or she, or do we really need him? I'm gonna say yeah. We may not need him October 3rd. January 3rd is when we probably need him. When we get to the point when teams just put 13 people in the box, January 3rd is when he'd come in handy. May not need him October 3rd. May not need him November 3rd. January 3rd, February 3rd, yes, he would be very welcome on this team because we need him then when they put 18 people in the box and dare us to throw the ball. All right, the third question on the community tab comes from Wolf of All Streets, which I think is one of the best names on YouTube, the Wolf of All Streets. He says, what are your thoughts on trading a 3rd and a 5th round pick and Rashad Bateman for Devontae Adams, if it translates to winning the chip now? If whatever translates to winning the chip right now, I'm for it. Whatever it is. So I hope that answers the question. You could put 19 picks in there. If it translates to winning the championship under Lamar Jackson's watch, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think that's a lot for Devontae, but because the thing is, that 3rd, that 5th, and Rashad Bateman, Devontae makes way more than that. And his cap hit, EDC, they gonna be finicky about this cap hit. His cap hit is huge. I think Cap Study Ravens, or what's it, Salary Cap Ravens, or whatever his Twitter name is. Like Devontae gonna make like $27 million, and you're gonna trade Bateman's what, $4 or $5 million, and then 2 rookies that's probably gonna make $2 or $3 million. That's still, that ain't even half of what Devontae make. So that cap hit is really gonna be an issue when it comes to Devontae. Let me see if somebody put something under my X post. Let's see if somebody put something under my X post. So Deeds put a question under my X post. It says, how are you doing and how's life treating you? Well, Deeds, I don't know if you're watching now, but I'm doing fine. I appreciate you for asking, and life's treating me well. Again, I appreciate you and G's advice to put me in a better space. I thank you. Salute to you boys. I appreciate you guys. Y'all my boys. All right, now I can get to the chat box questions. Give me 1 second to get back to my chat box. All right, let's see where we at. All right. First question from Malik says, would you be willing to extend 79? He's already restructured his deal to where he's his own a lot of bonuses. And the way he's playing right now, when is his deal up? When is Ronnie's deal up? If his deal is up this year or next, I wouldn't take him past 3 years. If Ronnie's under contract for this year and next, I just let that be. If Ronnie's under contract for this year and next, I let that be and just let it play out. I would. That's why I'm at with it. He's getting, because I don't think he's gonna be like what's San Francisco's left tackle name? Trent. Like he gonna get better at 33. I don't think that's gonna happen. So if he's on the contract this year and next, I'd ride that out and start looking for replacements. That's what I would do. All right, the next one's from Killer Cam. Says, I feel like Rashad is a better version of Kadarius Toney, has great separations but struggle to catch the ball. Thoughts? Now, a lot of Ravens fans were, the ball Rashad dropped in the end zone. They were saying, hey, it was pass interference. That wasn't a drop. Such and such a bull crap. That was a drop. That man pulled his jersey. Yes, he did. That was holding or whatever they called. But he also let that jersey go, and that ball hit him square in both of his hands, and he dropped it. That's a drop. But I don't know, man. Because, with Mark's drop, Zay's drop, Bateman's drop, Mark could have been 16 for 18 or 16 for 19 or whatever he was, 13, whatever he was, with right around 200 yards and probably close to another perfect passer rating and another TD. The drops ain't hurting us now because we run the ball so well. But that's, you got to catch your bunnies. A contested catch is different. You hit both your hands and they ain't like swiping at it or dragging you down. You got to catch them. You're in the NFL. And I know drops happen, but I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. Next. From C Wheel 316. Would you try? What? Would I? I be trying to sign likely right now. R-A-T. Rat. I'm going to use some country slang. I be trying to sign likely right now. R-A-T. Rat now. get him extended for 7-8 years right now. I'd get him here and keep him on the contract, and he already tight end one. Don't say that too loud. People might get mad at you. But he already tight end one. So yes, I would definitely try to extend him and keep him here. Definitely. See what else we got. Another one from Malik. He says, with the return of Arthur Marlette looming, who do you think will be the odd man out? Man, this is a great question. Because this is my thought process before the season started. I thought, so it was not Mark. Marlo outside. It was B. Steve outside. Marlette playing the slot. Wiggins was healthy and wasn't getting a lot of spin with the ones because of Marlette. Or Marlette, however you say it. Marlette goes down. Bam. Bump Wiggins outside. Bought Marlo in the slot. Now Wiggins gets a lot of spin. Bam. The season starts. That combination of Wiggins, Marlo, and B. Steve looks really, really good. Bam. Now Marlette, how you say it, is back. He got to ride the bench until somebody, if somebody get hurt. He just got to sit there and wait it out until somebody gets hurt. You can't mess up that chemistry. Like Marlon, as much as I dislike the person Marlon, that son is balling in the slot. Like there ain't no other way around it. That dude is playing lights out in the slot. That PD on Khalil Shakir when they tried to run the deep over on him, that's textbook defense. That's old school Marlo right there. And the thing is, Buffalo saw Turpin do that on Marlo last week, and Turpin just ran away from Marlo. So they're like, well, we gonna do it too. You ain't as fast as Turpin. The cat Khalil Shakir ain't nowhere close as quick and as fast as Turpin. And Turpin ain't no route runner. Turpin just straight up fast. Khalil Shakir ain't that. Marlo played that stuff perfect. So Marlette is probably gonna be the odd man out in that situation. Let's see if we got another one. Another one from Malik. Says, from your perspective, what are Monken's weaknesses as a play caller? Oh, you went there. And this gonna sound like some hate. This really gonna sound like some hate. But as of 10/3/24, I think his weakness as a play caller is listening to the head coach. But you got to, because it's a chain of command. It's a pecking order. In any job, there's always, you got to do what the people above you say. And let me tell you why I say that. And I think if you was watching Chalk Talk with me and Chris yesterday, I think I might have said this to Chris. Week 1 and 2, you saw a lot of power, a lot of counter, which is traditionally the Ravens' way. We run a lot of power, we run a lot of counter. We smash people upside the head with those two plays, whether it be regular power counter or QB power and counter. That's the stuff we do to bludgeon you and beat you across your head. Well, after week 1 and 2, it was obvious that Falele, Rosengardner, McCary, not good at that. And Voorhees to a certain extent, that they not good at that. Even Linderbaum. Linderbaum's not a power counter guy. Linderbaum's his own guy. And so I think John finally got, and this is me thinking, I don't have no sources. This is my gut. I think John finally said, okay, Todd, do your thing. And then we saw what happened versus Dallas. And we saw what happened last week. And PFF has Derrick Henry with 12 zone carries and 12 gap carries. But I call BS on that because I ain't seen no 12 gap plays. I keep forgetting to go back and look at all of Derrick's plays just to see if they were gap or zone. But I did not see 12 gap runs from Derrick Henry. I didn't. But I think he just, whether he had to listen to him or John just stepped back and say, hey, go ahead and do your thing. But you got to listen to your boss. You got to. Because you need your check to keep coming. And if he wrong, he going to be wrong. All right. I see one more. Again, real quick. 10 minutes. 10 minutes left. If you got a question, like YPC Joe just did. If you got a question, put a Q in front of it. Then type your question out. That way I know you got a question for me and I answer. But if we don't have nothing out the draw, I'm going to be up out of here. Question is, do you feel like dropping Hamilton in the box or at linebacker, we will see better play with the role like Simpson? Better play with the role. I feel like Simpson on roll needs that connection. All right, I talked about this too. I think Rowe, when Trent is in there, I think Rowe's compensating, trying to make sure Trenton is doing what he's supposed to do, and knowing and making sure Trent, hey, you got a gap, or you got to line up here, or you got to drop to this spot. Like he's making sure he's telling Trent where to be, and he's not just going. He's like a half a tick slow. Like me and Chris talked about, he's a half a second slow on his reads and stuff like that. Give me 1 second. Like he last year when Queen was in there, both of them knew the system, both of them knew the calls and where to go, and both of them could just play fast. They ain't have to worry about, like, Rowe never had to think about what Queen got if he was gonna do his job, and Queen never had to think about what Rowe doing or if Rowe gonna do his job. Now Rowe has to kind of, make, hey, you got XYZ, and because even on a play where Josh Allen threw the ball to his tight end. And it was an incomplete pass. The tight end kind of dropped it. But as soon as that play was over with, you could see Rowe pointing at Trent like, you need to be right here. You should have been here. And where he was pointing at, if Trent would have been there, it probably would have been an interception. Because he would have threw it right to Trent. Trent was too close to the line of scrimmage. So I think he's being a big brother in a sense. And not saying it negatively. He's being a big brother trying to make sure Trent is where he needs to be. Now, y'all do notice a lot when in certain situations, Trent comes out, and I think this is what Drew is alluding to. They drop Hamilton down there and let Hamilton be that other linebacker. And it's technically dime, but Kyle is playing linebacker. And honestly, what Kyle is doing in real life is when the last time I was playing Madden is what I would do in Madden. I'd take Uncle Bynes out and put Kyle down there, and I'll have Kyle and Queen down there at linebacker, and then just let my DBs be whoever the DBs was. So basically they doing what I used to do in Madden. And Kyle can do that because Kyle's better around the line of scrimmage. He's better in the flats around the line of scrimmage. He's better, behind the lineman and behind the line of scrimmage, and he's better in the alleys. Can he do deep stuff? Yes. But he's better around the line of scrimmage. As we all know, he's up there making plays. Where he can cover. He's covering tight ends. He's covering backs. He can blitz. Or he can just sit in his zone. So I think they're finally using Kyle the best way they know how. And it took over a minute to try to figure out where to put guys at. And he's still figuring it out. He'll be better at it as the weeks go on. I got one from Cam. It says, Coach, I feel like we need to trade for Adams or Hopkins because in the playoffs we would go air raid. Well, yeah, that's what I said earlier on the first question. That's what I was saying. I was saying we didn't need Hopkins. What's this? October 10th? I mean October 3rd. But we'll need him January 3rd and February 3rd. We'll definitely need him then, but not right now. But definitely later on in the year. Will G, what up, Will? Says, how many yards with the Bengals missing key DTs do you think Henry goes for 200 this week? I don't know if he get 200. I think they're gonna commit a bunch of guys to the box. I think they're gonna try to make us throw a little bit. I do. I think they're gonna try to make us throw the ball. They're gonna commit guys to the box. And I think we'll have opportunities in the passing game because they do have one decent corner, Cam Taylor-Britt. I think, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, they've been playing Dax at corner a little bit, which is Justice's brother. But I think they're gonna try to make us pass, and it's gonna open up opportunities for Mark. And likely because I think the former Raven Chico Stone is the weak link back there. So I think we should go at him and attack him and make him feel like he should have never left. That's what I think with that. But I don't think we're gonna go for 200 yards. I don't think Henry's gonna go for 200 yards. I do think we'll rush for 100 as a team, but I don't think Henry's gonna go for 200 yards. Oh, I answered the question. I answered the second part of the question without even knowing it. Asking, what do you think we attack most parts here? I answered that without even knowing. Let's see what Garnett got for me. With how the offense is constructed as a horizontal passing team, is that because of lack of depth, deep threat speed vertically? Gee, I still think this to the day. They got to play Tez. We got to play Tez. I think you have to play Tez and just like when people play cover 2, just let him run through the safety a couple times. You ain't got to throw it. Just let him run. Just run through the middle of that cover 2. Let him run through the middle of that cover 4. And then when they start respecting it, then you throw it. Tez ain't got to have about 5, 6, 7 reps. But get him out there and let him run through that cover 2. Let him run through that cover 4. And then when they don't respect it or when they be like, oh, he ain't doing nothing, and you pop in one good time, he'll open the whole thing up. Because I know somebody sitting over there that's on the 53 that ain't playing. I know somebody that's sitting over there on the 53 that ain't playing. Tez need about 5 reps. That's it. Now, I don't know if Tez can play special teams, though. That's probably the problem. I don't know if Tez plays special teams. That may be why. And he may be hurt. I don't know. But I think Tez, just running him deep, and just think about Tez. You see what Jameson is doing for the Lions? Just think about Tez as a Tubi Jameson Williams. That's it. The great value Jameson Williams. Because Jameson just not coming to his own doing deep stuff for the... And think about like Rashid Shaheed for the Saints. That type of stuff. He don't need a lot of reps. He don't need a lot of catches. The threat of him blowing past that cover 2 or that cover 4 will keep people back there. And then the rest of the offense can do their thing. Let's see. What's this one? I feel like Tez can bring that impact like Mitchell to that deep passing game. Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't see no more Q's. I got time for one more. You got a question, put a Q in front of it. I got time for one more. Let's see. First one that throw a Q up there, I can see because it'll pop up on my screen. You need a question, Will. I already answered that one, G. I answered that one, G, because DeMar sent that one. That's not a Q. That's a statement, Cam. My star no line. My star no line is Ronnie Macari, the O line that played Sunday. That's my star no line. That's my that's my starting O line. The O line that played Monday. 1989 Malik. 1989 Malik. I think that's right. When Malik answers my question, I'm gone. I think 1989 Malik. Is that right? I'm trying to see if I'm right. I'm just waiting on Malik. G, I'm finna reply to your text message. Give me 1 second. Hey, y'all hit that like button? That's hold on. 96. My bad. I thought it was 89. It's 96. My bad. My bad. My bad. Let me see. We got 30. Let me give you your points for your likes, and then I'm gonna roll up out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming through and enjoying this little stream. I'm gonna go ahead and give me some grub and get ready for this Thursday night football and this baseball game that I hope the Mets win. Hold on, don't leave yet so you can get your points. All right, points given for everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be here with me. And I started selling dope back in 1990. Oh yeah. It is 1996. It is 1996. Yeah. So yeah, my bad. So I appreciate y'all, man. Peace and love, and y'all enjoy y'all week day. And don't forget about the video tomorrow on More Sip the Tally. And then my Bengals preview will be out. I'm shooting it tomorrow, so it probably won't be out Saturday morning or late Friday night. Probably Saturday morning because I'm going to a football game tomorrow too. So I appreciate y'all, man. Peace and love, and I'll see y'all soon.